Have you ever felt like you're giving everything to everyone, but still feel empty inside? Like no matter how much love you share, how much you protect, how much you sacrifice, life never seems to give back in the way your heart quietly hopes for. Let me ask you something even deeper. When was the last time you gave that same love to yourself? Because here's the truth that many Cancers don't realize. Your heart, your nurturing soul, your ability to care so deeply, is not just your gift. It's also your biggest lesson. The reason abundance feels far away is not because you're not enough. It's because you've forgotten that you deserve to receive just as much as you give. And that changes starting today. In this video, I'll share with you 18 powerful insights. Not just words, but emotional keys. Keys to unlock the abundance that's waiting inside you. We're not talking about money alone. We're talking about emotional wealth, inner peace, a life where you feel safe, fulfilled, and loved from the inside out. This is a journey of your heart. And it starts right here. Before we dive in, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Click like if you've ever felt exhausted from giving too much. And share this video with someone who needs to remember their worth. Now, let's begin. Do you ever notice how your emotions come in waves? One moment you feel peaceful, the next overwhelmed without knowing why. It's not random. It's your nature. As a Cancer, you are ruled by the moon. And just like the moon, your emotions shift through phases. Full and bright, then hidden and quiet. You've probably been taught to see these changes as a weakness. But what if they're not? What if your emotional cycles are not a problem to solve, but a rhythm to embrace? Imagine your emotions like tides of the ocean. You don't blame the ocean for high and low tides. You respect its rhythm. Your inner world works the same way. So instead of fighting your feelings, start honoring them. When sadness comes, let it speak to you. When joy rises, let it fill you completely. This is not indulgence. This is emotional intelligence. Each feeling carries a message, a lesson, a signal from your deeper self. The sooner you stop judging your emotional shifts, the sooner you'll find peace inside them. But here's where many Cancers struggle. Feeling so deeply, without tools to ground themselves. That's why you need anchors. Simple daily rituals to stabilize your soul. Think about it. What brings you calm when everything feels too much? Maybe it's morning journaling, where your thoughts flow onto paper. Maybe it's lighting a candle and sitting quietly for 5 minutes. Or simply stepping outside to feel the sun on your skin. These small acts are powerful. They're not about controlling your emotions, but about holding space for them. Like a lighthouse guiding you through emotional storms. Without anchors, emotions can feel like they're drowning you. But with them, you learn to ride the waves, not fear them. Now, let's go deeper. Think about your childhood. Think about the times you felt unseen, unheard, maybe even unloved. Those moments don't disappear. They settle inside you. Your inner child remembers every time they felt abandoned emotionally. As an adult, you carry those wounds quietly. And often, you keep giving love to others, hoping someone will finally love you the way you long for. But here's the truth. No one else can heal that child inside you. That's your sacred task. It's time to reparent yourself. To become the loving, patient, protective guide your younger self always needed. How? Start by listening. When you feel triggered, overwhelmed, anxious, pause. Close your eyes and ask, what do you need right now? Maybe it's reassurance. Maybe it's rest. Maybe it's just permission to cry. Meet those needs with compassion. Picture yourself holding your younger self in your arms. Tell them, you are safe now. I'm here. I won't abandon you again. This inner dialogue isn't childish. It's healing. Because the child in you is still waiting for you. Every act of self-care, every boundary you set, every time you choose rest over productivity, you're telling that inner child, you matter to me. But sometimes, emotions feel so loud, so overwhelming, that you believe you are your feelings. When sadness hits, you feel broken. When anger rises, you believe you're a bad person. Stop. Emotions are not your identity. They are visitors. Passing through your inner home. Imagine standing at the door of your heart. Your feelings knock. You can open the door, let them sit with you, but remember, they don't live there. Observe your emotions. Listen to them. But don't let them unpack and move in. This shift changes everything. You stop being at the mercy of your feelings and start being the observer of your inner world. When anxiety whispers, recognize it's just a part of you seeking safety. When sadness lingers, know it's your soul asking for rest. Feelings carry truth, but not your whole truth. You are bigger than any single emotion. Watch them. Learn from them. But don't become them. Lastly, honor your lunar rhythm. Your energy, your emotions, your focus, all rise and fall, like the moon itself. Some days, you'll feel inspired and social. Other days, withdrawn, craving solitude. That's not failure. That's your natural cycle. Instead of forcing yourself to be consistent like others, create a life that moves with your emotional tides. On high-energy days, create, connect, express. On quiet days, slow down, nurture, reflect. Let your life breathe. When you live in sync with your inner rhythm, peace returns. You stop fighting yourself. You stop comparing your path to others who don't feel as deeply as you do. Think about nature. Flowers don't bloom all year round. Even the ocean rests between waves. Why should you expect yourself to be endlessly giving, endlessly productive? Your lunar heart needs phases. Darkness is as sacred as light. Rest is as powerful as action. So, starting today, embrace your emotional waves. Anchor yourself through rituals. Heal your inner child with compassion. Observe your feelings without becoming them. And most of all, honor your rhythm. You're not broken. You're just lunar. And that is your hidden power. Have you ever noticed how easily you give others the love you struggle to give yourself? It's not just a habit. It's a pattern. A deep-rooted belief that your worth is tied to how much you can give. How much you can fix, how much you can care for those around you. But let me ask you, when was the last time you defined success, not by what you accomplished, but by how safe you felt in your own skin? We're taught that success means working harder, giving more, achieving endlessly. But for a heart like yours, success is something different. It's emotional safety. It's walking into a room and feeling at home, not because the people there love you, but because you love yourself enough to stand tall. It's resting at night without guilt. It's trusting your path even when no one else understands it. Abundance isn't something you chase out there. It's the feeling of coming home to yourself. But you can't build that home without boundaries. And I know, the word boundaries sounds harsh. Maybe even selfish. Especially for a heart like yours that feels everyone else's pain as if it's your own. But think of it this way, every time you say yes when your soul whispers no, you're tearing down the walls of your own sanctuary. Every time you ignore your exhaustion to help someone else, you're pouring from an empty cup. Boundaries aren't walls that keep people out. They're doors that remind you who belongs inside your peace, and who doesn't. Setting boundaries can be simple. It's pausing before you agree. It's asking yourself, is this draining me or fueling me? It's saying, I can't help right now, but I wish you well. It's choosing rest over obligation. It's choosing peace over people-pleasing. And the more you practice, the less guilty you'll feel. Because protecting your energy is protecting your life force. Now let's talk about your empathy. It's your superpower. You feel what others can't even name. You sense tension in a room before words are spoken. You know when someone's heart is heavy, even when they say, "I'm fine." But your gift of empathy has a shadow. You absorb others' emotions so deeply that sometimes you lose yourself inside their struggles. You begin to think their pain is your responsibility to solve. But here's the hard truth you need to remember: you can love someone without carrying their burden. You can witness someone's sadness without becoming sad yourself. Their healing is not your responsibility. Your empathy doesn't mean sacrificing your inner peace. Start by reminding yourself, I can care without carrying. Imagine every person's emotions as theirs to hold, not yours. Let your compassion guide your words, but let your boundaries protect your soul. You're here to be a light, not a lifeboat. But even with empathy and boundaries, fear creeps in. Fear that you're not enough. Fear that love will leave. Fear that if you let go, everything will fall apart. Fear is loud, isn't it? It speaks in worst-case scenarios. It paralyzes you with overthinking. It whispers, "What if?" at every decision. But what if fear isn't your enemy? What if fear is just your heart, longing for safety? Each time fear speaks, instead of fighting it, listen. Ask, what are you trying to protect me from? Fear often masks the need for faith. Faith in yourself. Faith in life. Faith in a bigger plan you can't yet see. When fear grips your heart, place your hand over it and whisper, I trust myself. Even if you don't fully believe it yet. Because faith isn't about having proof. Faith is about stepping forward without it. Life has seasons you can't control. People leave. Plans change. Doors close. But that doesn't mean you failed. It means life is redirecting you to something better. Something aligned. So when fear tries to hold you still, meet it with gentle faith. Say to yourself, I don't know what's next, but I trust that I'll find my way. And when faith feels hard, come back to presence. Take one breath. Feel your feet on the ground. Notice the small things around you. A ray of sunlight. The sound of your breath. Presence is where faith begins. Not in the future you're worried about, but in the moment you're standing in now. Now, imagine what your life would look like if you trusted your energy more than your anxiety. If you believe that your heart, your rhythm, your inner compass is leading you exactly where you're meant to be. Because soon, we'll explore the most controversial, most transformative truths yet. The final 3 insights may challenge everything you believe about yourself. Stay with me. The journey is just beginning. Have you ever wondered why you struggle to imagine a life where you feel emotionally rich? Maybe it's because no one taught you how. Think about it. When people say abundance, your mind probably jumps to money, success, or physical comfort. But for a Cancer soul like yours, real abundance starts somewhere else. It begins in your emotional world. In how safe you feel when you're alone with your thoughts. In how loved you feel when no one else is there to offer you love. That's emotional wealth. And it's something you can create from within. Picture your ideal life. Not the one you think you should want, but the one your heart craves. Imagine mornings where you wake up peacefully, not rushing. Evenings where your mind is quiet, not racing. Relationships where you feel safe to be fully yourself, without explaining why you feel so deeply. That's emotional abundance. That's emotional wealth. And visualizing it isn't just a game. It's the first step toward creating it. Your mind doesn't know the difference between real and vividly imagined. What you focus on expands. So let yourself imagine. Not just with your mind, but with your heart. See the emotional life you desire. Feel it. Then let that vision guide your decisions, your boundaries, your self-care. And remember, your sensitivity is not something you need to fix. It's not a weakness. It's an instrument. Like a finely tuned piano. You feel the shifts in energy others miss. You sense what's unsaid. You notice when something feels off long before the facts appear. This isn't coincidence. It's intuition. It's your emotional radar. The problem comes when you view your sensitivity as a flaw. When you try to toughen up. When you tell yourself to stop feeling so much. But suppressing your emotions only blocks your wisdom. Start viewing your sensitivity as your guide, not your burden. Let's bring it into daily life. Next time you feel that tightness in your chest, or that strange heaviness before something even happens, pause. Listen. Instead of dismissing it as overthinking, ask, what is this feeling telling me? Maybe it's a boundary being crossed. Maybe it's your body signaling rest. Maybe it's your heart warning you that something isn't aligned. Trust it. Act on it. Over time, this practice will change your life. You'll stop second-guessing yourself. You'll start trusting your natural rhythm. And you'll stop giving away your power to people who don't value it. Now, there's something harder we need to talk about. Vulnerability. Showing your true feelings. Speaking your truth, even when your voice shakes. It's terrifying, right? Especially for you. Because your heart has been hurt before. Maybe you opened up once and got judged. Maybe you shared your needs and got ignored. So now, you stay quiet. You smile when you're struggling. You say you're fine when your soul is screaming. But here's what you need to hear: vulnerability is not weakness. Vulnerability is wisdom. It's bravery in its purest form. Being vulnerable means saying, this is who I am. This is how I feel. Even when you fear rejection. Even when you fear being misunderstood. Every time you share your heart honestly, you're teaching yourself something powerful. You're saying, I am worthy. My truth matters. And you're opening the door for real connection. Think about the people you admire most. Is it their perfection that inspires you? Or their realness? Their honesty? Their humanness? People don't connect with masks. They connect with authenticity. So let yourself be seen. Not for applause. But for healing. Here's something simple yet profound. Next time someone asks how you are, pause. Instead of the automatic I'm fine. Try something honest. I'm a bit tired today. Or, I'm feeling hopeful about something. You don't need to share your deepest secrets. Just let yourself be real. Vulnerability isn't about exposing everything. It's about dropping the armor, piece by piece. It's about reminding yourself that you're safe to be human. But here's the most beautiful part. The more you treat yourself with that same gentle honesty, the more the universe responds. Opportunities, people, and blessings start flowing to you, not because you're trying harder, but because you're finally being yourself. That's how vulnerability unlocks abundance. Not through effort, but through authenticity. Now, let's return to compassion. You're known for being compassionate to others. You hold space for them. You listen. You care. But how often do you include yourself in that compassion? How often do you treat yourself with the same patience you offer to friends? Probably not often enough. You criticize yourself for being too sensitive. For not doing enough. For feeling too much. But imagine how your life would shift if you spoke to yourself the way you speak to the people you love. When you're exhausted, instead of pushing through, you say, it's okay to rest. When you feel overwhelmed, instead of judging, you whisper, I'm here for you. This isn't self-indulgence. It's self-healing. Every time you extend compassion inward, you're telling your soul, I matter too. And the more you believe that, the more you teach the world how to treat you. Compassion is emotional alchemy. It transforms pain into healing. It changes self-criticism into self-understanding. And it helps you break the cycle of burnout. You can't pour endlessly from an empty heart. You can't keep saving others if you're drowning inside. Compassion is the rope that pulls you back to shore. Make it a practice. Not once a month. Every day. Check in with yourself. Ask what you need. Then give it to yourself without guilt. And now, you're probably wondering, what's next? You've listened closely. You've felt these words stir something inside you. But be prepared. Because in the next part of this journey, I'll reveal 3 insights that may challenge everything you believe about yourself. 3 truths that might feel uncomfortable, yet hold the power to completely reshape your path toward abundance. Are you ready to hear what no one has ever told you before? Stay with me. The final part will change everything. Let me ask you something simple, but powerful. How many times have you ignored your inner voice, because someone else told you they knew better? Think about it. You felt that quiet nudge inside you. That strange gut feeling. That soft whisper that said this isn't right or something feels off. And yet, you silenced it. You looked for answers outside yourself. You asked others for advice. You doubted what you felt, because you were scared to trust your own knowing. But what if I told you, your wisdom has always been inside you? Not the kind of wisdom that shouts or demands attention. The quiet kind. The wisdom that sits in the background, waiting for you to slow down long enough to listen. Your emotions aren't random. Your sensitivity isn't noise. It's guidance. Every time you feel that tightening in your chest, every time your heart feels heavy for no reason, that's not weakness. That's inner knowing trying to get your attention. Start noticing. When your body feels tense, pause. When you feel uneasy around someone, trust that feeling. When something excites you without explanation, follow it. Your wisdom lives in those subtle moments. The more you listen, the louder it gets. The more you trust yourself, the less you'll need others to validate your path. And here's a secret, your intuition will never lead you where your soul doesn't belong. But listening to yourself also means surrendering what you can't control. And I know, surrender sounds like giving up. Especially for a heart that wants to protect, fix, and understand everything. You hold on tightly to people. To plans. To identities you've outgrown, simply because letting go feels unsafe. But surrender isn't failure. Surrender is trust. It's saying, I don't have all the answers. And that's okay. Imagine holding sand in your hand. The tighter you squeeze, the faster it slips away. Life works the same. The more you cling to outcomes, to timelines, to who you think you need to be, the more resistance you create. Abundance doesn't flow through force. It flows through openness. So when doors close, stop blaming yourself. When people leave, stop chasing. When things fall apart, remember, sometimes life removes what's not meant for you. To create space for what is. Try saying this to yourself, I release what no longer serves me. I trust what's meant for me will stay. Let go, not because you've failed, but because you're wise enough to know holding on is hurting you. And when you do, you'll feel lighter. You'll breathe deeper. And suddenly, the things you've been chasing will start moving toward you instead. But surrendering doesn't mean you're unprotected. You've spent so much of your life guarding others, watching over loved ones, making sure everyone else feels safe. But in doing so, you've forgotten something sacred. You are protected too. Even when you feel alone. Even when life feels chaotic. Even when nothing makes sense, you're being guided in ways you can't always see. Think about it. Remember that person who left? That job that didn't work out? That delay that frustrated you? Maybe, just maybe, those weren't failures. Maybe they were protection. Maybe life closed that door, not to punish you, but to redirect you. You don't need to control every outcome. You don't need to be on guard every moment. Rest in the knowing that you're held. You're watched over. You're being shielded from what's not meant for you, so you're free to receive what is. When you relax into that truth, fear loosens its grip. Anxiety softens. You begin to see obstacles as guidance. Rejection as redirection. Protection isn't about having power over life. It's about trusting that life is always working for you, even when you can't yet see how. And now, let's speak about something that might surprise you. Courage. You don't think of yourself as brave, do you? Because bravery looks different in your heart. You're not the type to seek attention, to fight for the spotlight. You avoid conflict. You protect your feelings. You think that makes you fragile. But real courage, your kind of courage, is something else entirely. Courage is opening your heart when you've been hurt. It's saying I love you first. It's crying and not apologizing for it. It's standing in your truth, even when others don't understand. Vulnerability is courage. Choosing to feel is courage. Telling someone I need help is courage. Every time you show your real heart, without pretending, without hiding, you're being brave in ways most people will never understand. Stop measuring courage by how loud you are. Measure it by how honest you're willing to be. The world doesn't need more walls. It needs more open hearts. And when you lead with your real self, something incredible happens. People trust you. Opportunities find you. Abundance flows to you. Not because you forced it, but because you dared to be you. So let this sink in. You are wise even when you doubt. You are safe even when you can't see it. You are protected even when life feels unfair. And you are courageous every time you let your heart stay open. And now, as we near the end of this journey, you might think you've heard it all. But you haven't. Because the final 3 insights are the ones most people overlook. They're not just truths. They're the foundation of how you unlock the life you've always longed for. Ready to discover them? Stay close. What comes next might change everything. Let me ask you something simple but powerful. When was the last time you stopped chasing and simply allowed yourself to receive? Not just compliments. Not just help. But love. Support. Rest. Joy. You give so much, Cancer. You nurture others endlessly. But somewhere along the way, you believed that to receive, you first had to earn it. That love, peace, abundance were rewards, not birthrights. But that's not the truth. The universe isn't waiting for you to work harder. It's waiting for you to open. To stop apologizing for needing care. To stop feeling guilty for wanting more. Receiving isn't weakness. It's trust. It's believing you are already worthy. Right now. Without doing a single extra thing. Think about a flower. It doesn't chase the sun. It stands still and lets the light find it. You can live this way too. Next time someone offers help, say yes. Next time joy knocks softly at your door, don't push it away, afraid it won't last. Next time rest calls your name, don't ignore it. Sit down. Breathe. Receive. Allow life to pour back into you, not because you've earned it, but because you exist. Your energy is meant to flow, not just outwards, but inward too. Giving and receiving are not opposites. They are the same river. Both must flow for you to thrive. And now, the last truth. Perhaps the hardest, yet most beautiful. Gratitude. Not the surface-level gratitude people talk about, but deep gratitude. The kind that shifts your soul. The kind that turns struggle into wisdom. The kind that changes the question from why is this happening to me, to what is this teaching me? Life hasn't been easy for you. You've carried emotional storms that no one else could see. You've survived moments that would have broken others. And yet, you're still here. That alone is something to thank yourself for. But gratitude isn't just about thanking life for the good days. It's about finding meaning in the hard ones. It's noticing the small things when everything feels heavy. The sunlight through your window. The warmth of your morning drink. The way your breath keeps rising, even when your heart feels tired. Every moment you choose gratitude, you tell the universe, I am open. Gratitude shifts your energy from lack to plenty. From fear to trust. From waiting to receiving. And that shift creates miracles. Try this. Each night, before you sleep, name 3 things you're grateful for. Not grand achievements. Just small moments. A kind word. A peaceful breath. A lesson learned. Feel them. Let them warm your heart. Do this every day and watch your life change. Because gratitude isn't something you practice when life is perfect. Gratitude is what makes life feel abundant, even before it looks abundant. And so, we've come full circle. What you've heard today isn't just guidance. It's a reminder. A remembering. Of who you are and who you're becoming. You are not broken. You are not too sensitive. You are not behind. You are a soul learning to trust itself. You are a heart learning to receive. You are a light learning how to shine without apology. Every step you take, every boundary you set, every tear you honor, every piece of joy you allow yourself to feel, it all matters. Every moment of self-compassion is a seed planted. And those seeds will grow into the abundance you've always longed for. Now, if you saw yourself in these words, if something deep inside you whispered, "This is me," then don't let this be the end of our conversation. Subscribe to this channel. Not because you're told to, but because your heart needs reminders like this. Like sunlight for your soul. Like this video if it made you feel seen. And share it if you know someone who gives too much and receives too little. And remember, this is only the beginning. In the next videos, we'll go even deeper. Into love. Into healing. Into unlocking the emotional life you were always meant to live. So, until then, keep listening to your heart. It knows the way.